I went to Tijuana to the Tijuana Record Show, went to a few shops, and ended the night seeing Los Dug Dugs by the beach. And I found one of my holy grails. I've been collecting Mexican Psych for a bunch of years now, so this particular trip had a mission. I've been wanting to go to the show for a long time. This is the smaller version of the show. In the fall, there's another version that's 3 times as big as this one. It's about 3 hours from my house to the hotel in Tijuana. It's pretty easy drive and pretty easy getting into the country, kind of tough getting out. We got in, got to the hotel, checked in, went to dinner, had a nice mellow evening, and then went to bed, getting ready for the morning show. We got to the show about 9:30 in the morning. It's supposed to start at 10, so there were dealers setting up when we got there. The whole thing takes place in an alley, kind of like Santee Alley in Los Angeles. They have hats and shoes and piñatas and such, but once you get in there, they cleared an area for vendors, and there was about 15 vendors. That guy was from Guadalajara. I really want to go see his store in Guadalajara. There's Tomas. I'll talk about him later, but a great LA seller with lots of good stuff on his wall. It was still early, so there weren't many people there. I was told later in the afternoon the place was packed and it was hard to walk around. There was a lot of American rock and pop and dance singles, not so much 60s and 70s psych. Many of the dealers didn't recognize the names of the artists I was asking them about. My wife is fluent in Spanish, so I sent her with photos of the records I was looking for, and she'd go to the Spanish-only sellers and see what they had. She ended up finding more than I did. Once we found the records, I started getting the gringo pricing, so I had my wife handle all the negotiations. All right, here's what I came home with. The first thing I found was a 1977 reissue of Dug Dug Smog. This is kind of the only one you could find. The original is super hard to find. I do have an original. It's a different cover, but the condition is really trashed. This is the one to listen to. I've got a few copies of this. My current Grail is the original, which it came out in 73, in good condition. I've never seen this for sale on the RCA label, and I paid up for the cover. I would say this is like a G-, but this is currently on the top of my wanted list for Mexican Psych, an original first pressing of Smog by Dug Dugs. I also found a reissue of El Taro de Mostaza. This is like an 80s repressing. This is the second reissue of this I have. I'll talk more about this record in a little bit. Then from one seller, I found a nice run of three of the Three Souls of My Mind. This came out in '79. For some reason, I don't have any Three Souls of My Mind. I just started getting them, and even though I've heard of them for many, many years, this came out in '79. This one's a reissue, also came out in '79. All on the RAF label. That's the label to collect. This is like a reissue of earlier tracks. And then this one is from 1982. Three Souls in My Mind are more hard rock blues, very blues based. Also picked up El Ritual. This is a reissue from 1987. I already have a reissue from 1982. I don't have the original pressing. That came out in 1971. This is really good Mexican rock. I do have the original from 1971. The EP. One of the dealers walked up to me and told me that he watches the channel, and he brought a record from his personal collection. In his boxes of records, he didn't really have anything that I was interested in, but he brought me over to his booth and he pulled out Grupo Ciruela, excuse my wonderful Spanish. This is an original pressing. It came out in 1973, again on the RAF label. It's hard rock, psych, kind of leaning a bit towards prog. I've never heard it, although when I went to Discogs, it was on my want list. I'm looking forward to jumping into this. Thank you, whoever you are, for doing that, and let's do it again. Another dealer had a couple 2023 reissues of Doug Doug's, Smog, and then Cambia. These are the most readily available that you can get. So if you're looking for these records, I would start with these. Okay, the last record I got from the record show is this compilation. On the Grusa, this is a 76 reissue of a 1972 compilation. It has all the big acts of the time, the famous Mexican Peace and Love, Three Souls in My Mind, Casa Nostra, El Ritual, Love Army. So I'm looking forward to playing this, and again, it's on that RAF. I collect anything on the RAF label. Okay, that was my find at the record show. One of the booths was by Rola Records, and he said he had a shop a couple blocks away, so that was the first place I went to. He said he had stuff that I would be interested, and in fact, he did have good stuff on the wall. So from what I saw, I picked up this reissue. It's La Libre Expression. This came out in '69. This is like Broad Psych. Really would like to get the OG. I don't know. It doesn't say what year that this came out. The next record is the Festival Abendaro 50th Anniversary. The festival was the Mexican Woodstock in 1971. All the top bands played there. Doug Doug's El Ritual, Peace and Love, Love Army. And after this show, the Mexican government banned hard rock, hard psych, any of that for 12 years, for a long time. And so all these bands that were very popular at the time disbanded or had to go to the United States, or they just didn't play much. It was a bad time in Mexican rock. And this is the anniversary concert from that. More Doug Doug's. This is the first album, which I've shown before on the channel. I've got like 3 or 4 copies of this. So I wrote Minimal Noise, still in the shrink. This was the 75 reissue. I've been looking for the first pressing. For some reason, it's really hard. And this guy had it. So finally, I've got Doug Doug's first album from 1971. This cover is kind of trashed, so I'm looking for an upgrade on the RCA label. I would say covers a G+, the vinyls maybe a VG-. But finally, I've got the first pressing, but I'm always looking for upgrades. I would say that Doug Doug's are my favorite Mexican psych band. Pretty sure of that. A pretty clean copy of Peace and Love. I have this. It came out in 1971 on RAF. It says 1971, so you know it's a first pressing, but the cover's got like this blue tint, which it wasn't blue. I think maybe this cover is just faded, so I need to compare it with my other OG and then pass on whatever I'm not going to keep. And the last one at La Roya Records would be the Spiders, Nuevos Rutas, the Spiders. This is their second album. The OG is from 73 of this album, which I do have that. And this is a 2023 reissue. I guess you would call this more southern psychedelic rock. Really good stuff. But that's it from that store. Okay, the last shop that we went to basically was my mission, was to go to La Ciruela Eléctrica. I'm killing that name. I've been to the store many times. The owner is very nice, very friendly. He actually reissued some of the top Mexican and some Peruvian psych back in the late 1900s. So I collect the label, the titles from the label that he had put out. So right when I walked in, on the wall was Ophagy. This is like a Nigerian record from 1973, but in Tijuana. These guys, and it's an original pressing. These guys liked Santana, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, and it sounds like it. This is good psych funk. It doesn't look great. Got some writing on it. The vinyl looks like it's a G+, but it plays through and it doesn't have lots of background noise. Anything from Africa, the condition is way worse than even the Mexican pressings. Really good. Another record that I would not expect to find in Tijuana is the Millennium Begin. I've showed this on the channel. This is Pop Psych It's US Pop Psych. I have a promo of it, but in lesser condition. So I'm going to take this, and this will be my keeper copy, and then I'm going to pass on my old copy. And now for the real reason I'm in Mexico. I've been collecting these records for a long time, and a record that I've known about for a long time. I've had the reissue for a long time. I was coming to get a couple of weeks earlier. I have met the owner of this record and of the store that we're talking about, and he told me he had it. El Taro de Mostaza. This is an original first pressing, super hard to come by, still in the shrink. I'm not going to take it out. So sorry for all the glare. This came out in 1970. Great psych rock. It checks all the boxes for me. See if I can get a non-glare. Full cover. The reissue I've ripped and had on my channel for a while, so you could play that. I always unseal sealed records, and I'm questioning it here, but I'm for sure going to do it. So really, really happy to get this one. We already made a deal at the record show in Los Angeles, the Vinyl Con, so I knew and was prepared to pay what I was going to pay for this. But this is the highlight of the trip. You never see this record. So happy to grab this one. And he actually had two of them, one that wasn't sealed, and I had to make a decision, and I chose this one. So that's it. That is all my Mexican records from the Tijuana Record Show and a couple of the record stores. Later that night, we headed over to Soundwave's record bar to see Los Dug Dugs play. There's only one original member. I think he's 78, but it was such a good time. It was over by the beach. This was actually a private party for Rafa. I didn't know Rafa, but it was his birthday. I got on the guest list through Tomas, and he was a dealer that was the Tijuana show, and also he sells at the Orange County show, and he was at Vinyl Con, and I bought many records from him. Super nice guy, and he was DJing at that show, so he got us on the guest list. He was right on the beach. There was only about 75 people there. There's records on the wall, turntables on the bar. It's definitely a place I want to come back to during the day. They say it's really nice to be there when the sun sets. So the highlight of the day was getting this record, and the highlight of the night was seeing Los Dug Dugs play. They went on around 11 o'clock at night, and it was so great. And Rafa is just right in front of them, and they're just playing for him. And they did a Pink Floyd, Another Brick in the Wall cover, but with happy birthday type lyrics. Great weekend all around. Nice people, nice food, great records. I can't wait to go back. What did you think? Any records stand out that you like or that you know of, or any Mexican psych records that you're looking for? I'll definitely be back for the bigger show in the fall. Now I'm going to roll about 10 minutes of Dug Dugs playing at the bar. YouTube pulls Dug Dugs a lot, so if they pull this 10 minutes, at least I'll have the whole video and it'll just lose the last 10 minutes. Thanks for watching this whole video. Like, subscribe. I will see you on the next video.
Lost in this funny world, living with people that is got to know that whoa, lost in my world. That whoa, lost in my world. conseguir algo mejor, algo que tu día conseguirás. Un amigo no es prometer, es entender poco en mi manera de ser. Cambia, 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 hipócrita no hay que ser. Tonta, 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 la gente parece ser. Y es mi manera de ser, y es mi manera de ser, y es mi manera de ser. No, 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 no. You wanna see me? No, we wanna see boy. You don't wanna kick out. And we begin now, now, now. And we begin now, now, now. And we begin now, now, now. I said it begin now, now. Yeah, correct. En el bajo tenemos a Miguel, el gallo. En la batería y voz. I said make it now. I want to make it now. I said make it now. To get it now, 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 now. You wanna say me? Now we wanna say boy. You don't wanna kick out. We see it loud, loud, loud. And we see it loud, loud, loud. And we see it loud, loud, loud. I will say it loud. Yeah. Hoy por ser día de tu santo, te venimos a cantar. ¡Hey! ¡Mira! ¡Que ya amaneció! Los pajarillos cantan, la luna ya se metió. Los pajarillos cantan, la luna ya se metió. ¡Bien! ¡Felicidades! ¡Yeah! pajarillos cantan, la luna ya se metió. Los pajarillos cantan, la luna ya se metió. ¡Felicidades! Nos despedimos con esta rolita. A la segunda parte llegamos ahora. Let's make it now.